Hey friends, look where I am. A snow-covered Sun Mountain. It's really hard to beat this. I just got here, in case you can't tell. And I had this interesting thought come to me. Because I was, just as I arrived at the summit of the mountain, at the base of the mountain, I should say, I made a decision. I knew it was going to be icy today, right? Like, that's the path. Okay, so, I was like, all right, really want to run this mountain today, but also really want to stay safe. So I made a decision early on not to be competitive with myself about pushing, about maintaining any kind of pace or speed, which is kind of my style anyway when I run, but I can get caught up in the moment. And today I just decided my intention is to enjoy and really just be present with the experience of running up this mountain, of the mountain itself. I've probably, if you've seen any of my Sun Mountain posts in the past, I have a sense that the mountain is running me. It's like when I'm in the right space, I'm not the doer. I am the experience of the mountain. I'm the mountain experiencing itself as I run up it. And when that can be, those moments can be fleeting if you're trying to push. But today, because I had kind of decided, all right, this isn't even about getting a workout. This is just about being present and enjoying. So I found myself in that space more than usual. And something came through to me because I just recently, a friend of mine recommended the book 4,000 Weeks. And 4,000 Weeks it's billed as a time management book, but really it's like a spiritual teaching in the form of a time management book, because what the author's thesis seems to be, I'm only in the first chapter at this point, but the thesis seems to be, we are way too good at cramming lots of things into our day, into an hour. We are way too good at efficiency. And the reason why we can say that we're way too good, the reason why that's not a good thing, is because it has skewed our perception of time in such a way as to consistently be trying to squeeze the most out of our time, and living with a perpetual feeling that time is running out, that there's never quite enough time, that there's so many things to do and there's not enough time to do them. It's an experience I certainly can relate to. And the alternative that the author is kind of proposing is that we actually, that this conception of time is a relatively new phenomenon. And he kind of goes back and does a sort of brief informal survey of previous periods of history where, before there were clocks, and where the perception of time was a completely different thing. And people, even though they generally lived a lot shorter and got a lot less done, never had the experience of a paucity of time or a scarcity of time. And what shows up for me in that is this idea that, in the same way that we are trying to do so much with our time, there's also a way in which something like a run or a workout is a kind of product. And I'm trying to squeeze as much from my workout in ideally as little time as possible, right? That would be like the perfect workout. If it only took me 5 minutes to get a full body workout, wouldn't that be amazing? Well, yeah. But the approach that seeks that is one that is inherently always tripping and falling out of the present moment into the next thing to do. And so something about the way that I was running today and the way that I perceive my relationship to the space, to this mountain, to the whole experience of being here, that's quite different than if I were trying to get a workout, relates to this idea of time management to me. You know, it's not, if I'm willing to forego the idea that I'm here to get something done, here to do this in a certain amount of time, here to accomplish some sort of achievement, then I, not only does that change my relationship to time, but it changes my relationship to what I'm doing. I'm no longer, my actual relationship to my body, to the experience of being physical, to the experience of being outdoors, all of that changes completely. It changes completely and becomes a whole other thing that ultimately has nothing to do with the kind of time-bound, time management, time maximization approach that's become so common. And I just wanted to kind of get myself, I wanted to put this on record for myself, because it's like, I think there's something truly remarkable about the way that we've started to construe the nature of time, and the way that we construe activity, the way that we schedule our lives. And so taking a moment to just connect with a completely different feeling, and to kind of, you know, ideally there's something that happens as I'm running in this state, as opposed to a kind of urgent state where I feel my hips just sink, they just settle down a little bit. They settle straight down, and all of a sudden my weight is bearing easily, as opposed to being in a kind of slightly forward, slightly anterior tilt, slightly urgently pushing forward kind of way. And as soon as I feel that, I have to ask myself, why would I ever want to run any other way? I mean, what on earth would possess me to have the experience of running in a kind of state of physical discomfort? What on earth am I doing? Why would I do that? There's no reason, other than my mind has created a sense of something to do beyond be here and connect with my body and move and let the mountain experience itself, which is just one of my favorite. I just love that image. You know, that's something that I'm drawing. It's something that I sort of, it showed up for me during physical activity a number of times here on the mountain, but it's something that I'm kind of drawing from various spiritual teachings, that's ultimately the nature of consciousness. That's ultimately why there is a manifest world. That's why we exist. We exist so that God can have an experience of himself or herself or themselves. And so our human experience is little iotas of that. Little glimpses of what God's self-awareness is. So if God is a mountain, the mountain wants to experience itself. If God is an ocean, the ocean wants to experience itself. If God is a human being, and we've become, you know, this highly evolved consciousness that we're carrying around as human beings is an apparatus for God to have that experience. That's it. That's what we're here for. So the notion that there's some kind of little micro task within our human priority list of the human created mind, of course, that's going to be unsatisfying, and it's going to take us out of balance, because kind of missing the point, kind of missing the much larger point of being here to be God's eyes and ears and tongue and nose and lips and arms and body, and to really feel the universe. There's another mountain. That's Moon Mountain. Some people who are really hardcore run Moon Mountain and Sun Mountain. I think that's Moon Mountain. Maybe if I do this more often, I'll be able to do both in a state of total ease and play and joy. But anyway, wanted to capture that. Wanted to kind of, it's coming through really powerfully. As soon as I got to the top of the mountain, I had such a wonderful time getting there today. And it's like the snow and ice, the pitfalls that slowed me down ended up being the gift that gave me the real kind of revelation, the real epiphany of this run. So that's how it works sometimes. The obstacles become the gift. And we don't want to believe it, but it's true. All right, folks. Love you. Have a great day. Take one more look at the sun. That's what the sun looks like from Sun Mountain. Just going down. Wow. Unbelievable. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.